Hello everyone, this is Audrey from LoveAmme. A breast pump should be one that can help you to empty your breast very efficiently. So for example, manual pumps. Yes, some moms say that they can empty pretty well, but the thing is, they may start to have like thumb aches, this kind of stuff, because they have to use their hand to go and press on it so many times. What about hands-free? Hands-free itself is, I would say, it's really a lifesaver if you have to like multitask, whereby it can't really empty the breast like that well. So a lot of moms is like after they use the hands-free, they will still have to use their very good breast pump to help them to empty out whatever milk that the hands-free pump couldn't get it out. So in that case wise, I would say just focus on electric breast pumps that is very good and efficient in sucking the milk out. I think the most important is before delivery, you should be focusing on like getting a very good and efficient breast pump. If you generally have like healthy skin, healthy breasts, all this, you can actually get quite a few breast pumps in the market that you can try, but I would highly recommend that you may want to consider Made to Travel, because that is actually one of the best in the market right now, because it can empty the breast very efficiently and yet at a shorter time. But if you already know that there are certain things that you may be already currently experiencing, for example, if you have like split nipples, very flat nipples, short nipples, or very sensitive nipples, then in that case, a lot of breast pump may not suit you. We will highly suggest that maybe you can take a look at TaylorMade Pro, because this is the only breast pump in the world that is the problem-saving pump. So regardless of what problems that you may encounter during breastfeeding, for example, like cracked nipples or this, TaylorMade Pro may be able to help you. I always recommend moms to make sure that number one, you have to take note of your water intake and make sure that you're drinking enough water, like at least 3.5 liters of water a day. And also the next thing is to make sure that you empty your breast frequently, because if you do not empty your breast, you're actually telling your breast that you don't need this milk. And that is when the milk supply will start to dwindle. And also another thing, if you're latching a baby, it's always a good practice to use a milk collector on the other side. The reason why is because letdown always happens to both breasts at about the same time. So if you're only sucking milk on one side, you're telling the breast, it's like, I only need milk from one side. So these are the things that you can take note of to help you to boost your milk supply, especially in the early days. A lot of moms, when they are planning to go back to work, the number one thing is they do not know how to schedule when to pump. Most of the moms, I would say, it really depends on like what is your milk supply. If you have a very healthy milk supply, you can actually pump lesser times. But if your milk supply is like just enough for the baby or even like not enough for the baby, in that case, then you may have to pump more times. Usually what moms do is before they leave their house for their work, they will do a pump. And after that, when they are in the office, probably they do their first pump at work like around lunchtime, and the second pump at work at around like tea break, like your 3-4 o'clock timing. And after that, when they go back home, they'll do another pump, which is by then your 4th pump. And before you sleep, which is your 5th pump, and one middle of the night pump, which is 6 pumps. So this is generally for most of the mummies who are back to work at around like the 4-month, 5-month range. But if your milk supply is really very healthy, for example, you are an oversupplier, then you may even cut that down to probably 4 to 5 pumps a day. Number one, trust yourself. If you are latching your baby and the initial latch is a little painful, I think that is still quite normal. But if your baby is latching on you like 10 minutes and you are in pain for 10 minutes, I think that is like a sign that something may be wrong. So in this case wise, we highly suggest that you may want to adjust your latch. And you may have heard of people telling you it's like if baby is not latching correctly, you can just break the latch by putting a finger inside all this. And then I usually don't recommend that, because that actually may incur injury to yourself. Instead, you may do a simpler way. So what you can do is, if baby's latch is not correct, usually it's because it's not deep enough. So what you can do is, you can actually use one of your hand to push your breast a little bit more inside into your baby's mouth. That will be much more easier as compared to trying to unlatch your baby. Why does this happen? Is because of moms not being able to efficiently empty out their breast milk. So this is when it gets stuck, and then it starts to create a bit of pain and a bit of problems here and there. So usually I would suggest to mummies, what you can do is, number one, ensure that you fully empty out your breast. So if you have actually like latched your baby and you realize that after the latch you can still feel that there are milk inside your breast, please do go and pump. You can do a 5 minutes pump, you can do a 10 minutes pump, as long as it helps you to get out all the remaining milk inside your breast. Get it out of the breast, and that will really help you with the clot ducts and block ducts. Okay, and also another thing is that do make sure that if you are latching your baby, always use a milk collector on the other side, because more than often a lot of mummies, when they latch their baby, they just latch on one side and that's it, finish, full stop. And what they realize is that the next session, the other breast that was not being latched on gets very painful. So this is when it's like we always suggest, if you're latching, you use a milk collector on the other side, and then once you're done, do probably a 5 to 10 minutes pump after that, and that will actually help to make sure that your whole breast milk supply will be healthy, and also the condition of your breast will be much better as well. So usually what I would tell mummies is that if you want to introduce the solids, actually babies will still drink your breast milk after that as well. So what happens is like a lot of moms, they introduce like a breakfast, a lunch and a dinner, and usually when you start weaning, it is like just a 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, and slowly you increase that amount. But what happens after that breakfast? Shortly later, the baby will want like a latch session or maybe a milk bottle session, depending on which is a manner of feeding a baby. And once your baby actually like drink the breast milk, that is when the baby goes to sleep. So usually I would say weaning doesn't really affect your latching sessions. You will still need to top up with your breast milk, still need to top up with your latching to make the baby like cooks the baby to sleep.